Hey family, welcome to So Easy with Shelby and Gabbie. I'm your host, Kate Stewart, and my mission is to show you funny, easy designs that you can do from home. So, grab some fabric, grab your scissors, and let's begin. Tonight we're going to do a viewer's choice, and this was actually inspired by Kelly Rowland's red carpet dress. And you should see the picture coming shortly. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to need is you're going to have to make sure that you get some really nice fabric. The fabric I'm choosing, because Kelly Rowland's dress was like a black or a dark blue, I'm not sure, but I don't want my dress to be that dark, so I did a lighter color. And this is like a taupe, but as you can see, it still has that same satin sheen that her dress has. It's just a different color. And like I said, I wanted my dress to be a lighter color. Now, one thing that you have to realize about when you have satins and sheens, in the light, if you have some flaws, you may want to make sure that you have on the proper undergarments, because if not, all your flaws will show up. Just a hint to the ladies, make sure that you have on the proper undergarments when you have on some type of material like this that has sheen or a satin feel to it, because if you don't, any flaws that you did not want to be revealed will be revealed if you hit the light the wrong way. So the next thing we're going to need is I'm going to use a dress. This is a dress I'm using. And I actually had this dress a while ago. It does still fit, but I don't really like it anymore. So I'm going to cut this up, and this is going to be what I'm going to use as an example for making the dress that Kelly Rowland has on. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut this dress up. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you find a dress that has like a tank top feel to it. And this one does. As you can see, Kelly Rowland's dress has a really deep V, has a really deep plunge line, and so does this dress. It has a really low plunge line, and that's what I want. It also has the ties here, which are going to eventually get tied behind my back like this. And then it also, it's long enough where it comes down past my waist and it flares out at the bottom. That's exactly the type of dress that you want to cut when you're doing this dress, if you decide to make this dress. So let's begin. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this dress. And like I told you, I don't really wear this dress anymore, so this is the perfect dress I need. So we're just going to go, and as you can see, there's a side seam here on this dress. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to go straight down the side seam of this dress. And I'm going to open it up, just like this. Lay it out flat, but I'm going to go straight down the side of this dress. Just like that. And as you can see, the dress has opened up wide, just like I want it to. And now I'm going to do the other side. So again, take your scissors, and you want to go straight down the other side. Just like that. I'm going. Okay. So we are at the bottom of the dress. Okay. So now we have the dress and it's open. So the next thing you want to do is you want to cut off the seams at the shoulders. Cut the seams off that shoulder. We'll cut this one off. And voila, look what we have. Now we have the pattern for the dress that we need. So we're going to use this one. This one we're just going to throw under. Now, here's the thing. I'm not advising you to cut up your dresses. If you have a dress that you like, do not cut your dress up. The easiest way to get the same pattern on a dress that you do not want to cut up is you can take this dress, even with the back of it, and you want to just put some tracing paper underneath of this, and you can just use your tracing wheel and trace this. You do not have to cut up your dress to get a pattern at all. Like I said, the only reason I did it is because I don't really wear this dress anymore and I really don't care for it. But if you did not want to do that, all you want to do is take your dress, you would lay it down on top of your fabric. You would get you some tracing paper, and you would take your tracing or your chalk mark, and you would make a line here. And then that way you know where to do your dress. But again, like I said, I don't wear this dress at all, so it's fine for me to cut up. But again, I'm not advising for you to cut up your clothes. Okay, the first thing is this dress is going to require 2 ties. There's one tie that goes from the back of her dress all the way up to her neck, and then there's one that's going to go through the casing of the top of the dress around to the back part of the dress, and it's going to tie. So we need to, first we're going to cut off the 2 ties for this dress. I'm going to make each tie about 1 inch, so you're going to need about 2 inches for each tie. So I am cutting the first tie, and what you're going to do is you're just going to cut it straight across the top, just like this, just like that. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take this over to our sewing machine. As you can see, I'm going to fold it over like this. We're going to take it over to the sewing machine. As you can see, I'm going to fold it over in half like this. We're going to take it over to the sewing machine, and you're going to sew straight up the top of this. Then we're going to put a safety pin at the end. I'm going to pull it through, but I'll show you how to do it, and that's going to be 1 tie. So now we need to do it so we make another tie. So again, I'm going to do about 2 inches, and I'm just cutting straight across. Just like that. Okay. So I'm going to throw this to the side, because like I said, those are going to be the 2 ties. I'm going to slide this up some. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out the dress. We're going to use our pattern that we have. And I'm going to take this pattern, and I'm going to lay it this way so that you can see it, because it's really good to see it with the color of the dress. I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay this just like this on the middle of our material. And again, you have your right sides facing together. We're going to cut off those ties first, and I'm going to put this right in the middle. And the reason I'm putting this right in the middle is because we want to make sure that we have enough space to give ourselves 5/8 inches of seam allowance so we can sew it. And we also want to make sure that we have enough inches at the bottom here so that the dress will, as you can see, there's still more dress here. We want to make sure that there's enough hang, because we're going to make, my dress is also going to be as long as Kelly Rowland's. So again, we're going to lay this out flat just like this. And if you have any loose edges over, if you did cut your dress up, just cut them off like that. And I'll just toss it out. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is, okay, so now that we have that laid out, just like that, it's laid out perfect, we're going to cut 2 pieces like this. And I know that the back of the dress is not like that, but don't worry, we're just going to cut out both of these pieces, because what I'm going to do is, once we have both of these pieces cut out, I'm going to take that back piece and I'm going to come right about here, and I'm going to cut it down just like this so that it has that low plunge back line like Kelly Rowland has in her dress. Again, like I said, we're going to take it and we're just going to cut the 1 piece, and we're going to cut down at the bottom so it gives us that low plunge back line, so that when we have the tie that's coming from here up to the neck, here where it's going to meet the dress, you'll be fine. So let's begin by cutting out our fabric. Okay, so now we're going to cut. Remember, we're putting a casing for our tie, because I'm going to do is I'm going to put about a 1.5 inch seam allowance here because I'm going to fold this under. That way the casing for the tie can go in there. Because what's going to happen is the tie is going to come out both of these ends and it's going to tie at the back of the neck. The one from the back that's going up to the back of the neck, we're going to have one that's coming from the back. And we're actually going to sew it to one of these ties up here. So this one in the back is going to be stationary. So when you put your dress on, you have to just put one arm in. And then you'll only have two ties to connect together when you put your dress on, as these two right here. So like I said, you want to make sure that you give yourself enough seam allowance when you're cutting up here on this top so that you can fold it under and that your tie will be able to go through that, come back out, and still have enough room to tie behind your neck. So let's get started. And again, you want to make sure you give yourself enough seam allowance for this dress when you're cutting for your sewing. And I normally just do like 5/8 of an inch, but I'm actually doing about an inch because this dress may be a little small and I'd rather it be too big and we can adjust it than it be too small. So I'm going to give myself about an inch. And if I need to sew it closer in, that's easier to do than not having enough material to sew it out. So again, we're just going to cut. And when you get down to the bar here where it's flaring out, that's fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep going until it hits off the edge of the fabric. And then when I get there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut it straight. I'm just going to cut it straight off the side so that that side will open up as well. So now we're going to finish cutting this off. And again, you want to make sure you give yourself enough room for the casing that I'm going to have up here at the top of this dress. Because like I said, once this goes under, I'm going to put my tie in there. And the tie is going to come out both edges of the dress. So, I'll cut that off like that. And like you see, there's plenty of room. So when I fold this down, I'm going to sew it down, and then I'll be able to put my tie in the middle of this. And these will be open so that the tie will come right out, and you'll be able to tie the two neck pieces together. So I'm going to do this other side as well. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is, because we have to cut the back, because remember there's a deep back plunge line to this dress. So you want to go ahead and grab your tape measure now. It's the time to do it. We're going to take the tape measure, and you're going to take your tape measure, and you're going to take it to the nape of your neck right here. And you're going to hold it right there with one hand. Now, the next thing you're going to do is, while you have that tape measure there, you're going to grab this side, and you're going to go down to the back of the dress where you want your dress to stop. Because remember, this is going to be the stationary tie that's in the back of the dress. So what you're going to do is, again, you're going to pull it up to the nape of your neck, you're going to go down to the bottom, and you're going to hold it there, then you're going to let this go. Now, my measurement is 19 inches. So I know that's exactly how long I need that tie to be in the back and how long I need to cut this dress. So I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, so now that our dress is cut out, we're going to take the top panel and we're just going to move it out of the way for right now. I'm going to move it. We're going to move it to the side for right now. Because the next thing we need to do is we need to take this panel, which is going to be the back of our dress, and we need to get it prepared for that deep plunge line that we have. So remember, you should have your measurements. Mine is actually at 19 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this with the right sides facing together. We're going to take our dress and we're just going to fold it in half like this. Just like that. I'm going to fold it right in half, right on the fold line. Fold it right in half. Just like this. Okay. So now that that's folded in half, the next thing we're going to do is, and as you can see the fold line right here. So we're just going to fold it right there on the fold line. The next thing we want to do is to get our plunge of a deep neckline like she has on her dress. You're going to take your tape measure and you're going to come here. I'm using this line here, which is on my 10-inch mark on my board. And I'm going to go down 19 inches, which is about right here. And as you can see, this is pretty much where my dress starts to flare out. So I know that this is going to be the end of my back. And remember, like I told you, I need mine to, this is how long this tie is going to be, because this is going to be your stationary tie. This tie is not going to do anything but stay in the back. So for mine, is right here is 19 inches. I'm going to take me a pen. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. Zoom in like that. So I'm going to take me a pen and I'm going to pin it right here at 19 inches. Now, if you remember Kelly's dress, as you can see, can you see that? There's a pin right there at 19 inches. Kelly's dress actually looks like on the back, there's like a point like this, and then it goes down and up like that to her dress. So that's what we're going to do to our dress. We're going to take it, and when you cut it, you're going to start from your pin, because that's going to be your point at the top, and you're going to go down like that, like if you were doing an upside down circle, and you're going to come back up to there. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing it freehand, this is the way I suggest that you do it. You want to take you a pencil. I'm sorry, not a pencil. Definitely not a pencil. You want to take you a tracing marker like this, and I have one right here. And you can take this and you can go, and I'm going to show you a different way to do it as well. But you can take your tracing pencil and you can go just like this, and you can draw your circle in that way, like that. But again, if you don't feel good doing it that way as well, I'm going to show you a different way you can do it. Okay, so here's the other way you can do it if you don't trust just drawing it in yourself. The first thing you want to do is, again, you want to take it from where you have your pen into the dress, like you see mine is there. Now, you can get a protractor, and you know those protractors, they have the thing where you put your marker in and you go straight across like that and it'll hold it in place. I don't have a protractor, so I'm going to use what everyone has. I'm actually just using the top to one of a jug I have in the house. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold that down, and I'm going to turn it to the side so that you can really see what I'm doing here. You want to take your jug top. I'm going to move that up again, like I said, so you can see exactly what it is I'm doing here. Because I want you to be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's zoom in a little more. Just like that. Okay, now as you can see, there's my pen, and that's going to be my mark. That's going to be my 19 inches. So I'm going to take the top of my jug, and I'm going to lay it right there by the jug. I mean, right by the pen, like that, so that it gives me that little point she has at the top of her dress. And I mean right here. So there you see, my pen is there. I'm going to take my tracing pencil, and I'm going to go around this circle just like this. Now, this circle is not big enough to cover the whole dress, so you just want to slide it over. You want to make sure you keep it at the biggest point, and you just want to keep sliding it over like this. And I'm just moving it out the way like this, and I'm going to keep on using my tracing pencil until I get to the end of the fabric, which is over there. And again, I just used the top of my jug. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see the mark, because it comes out really light, but you can see it when you're actually doing it yourself. There is the marking for the thing. So now all you need to do is take your scissors, and you're going to cut against that mark. And that's what we're going to do here. So you're going to start from where you have your pen. You want to go down. We're going to move the pen out the way now because we have the line there. You want to make sure that your fabric is nice and straight across, because you don't want your sides to be all crooked. So now you got your fold right there in the middle. You're going to take your scissors, and you're just going to cut straight across that mark you just made with the jug top. And again, as you can see, it's going up like this, just like she has her dress. And guess what? Now you have the back of your dress. And as you can see, it has that point just like she has on her dress. And you have a perfectly straight edge. You have all three of your points just like she has. This is where the tie is going to be connected to, and it's going to go straight up the top. It's going to go straight up the top of your dress. So let's go to the next. Okay, we're back, and the next thing you want to do is we're going to start finishing this dress off. The first thing we're going to do is you want to get those ties that we cut earlier. And what you're going to do is you're going to take it with the right sides facing together like this, and you're going to fold it in half. Now, you want to get you some pins, and you're going to pin this down. Like again, you want to fold it right sides together, and you're going to fold it in half, and you're going to put a pin in it. And you're going to do that all the way. I'm not going to do it all the way down. I'm actually going to just show you a few pins inside of it because I know how to hold it down. But if you're a beginner, make sure you use all the pins that you can. Again, you just want to fold it in half and put your pins in it. What we're going to do is we're going to take this over to the sewing machine, and you're going to sew straight across the bottom of this right here, because we're going to pull this inside out, and I'm going to show you how to do that too. But we're going to pull this inside out. But again, you want to go all the way to the bottom of each one of these ties and pin it down, because we're going to sew straight across the top. Next thing you're going to do is we're going to take the back panel of our dress, which is this one, and I'm going to move that one out the way for a minute. And we're going to get ready to get this back part sewn together. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to take it and you're going to fold it 1/4 inch. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to zoom in a little more so you can see exactly what I mean. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to get your pins. You're going to fold it over 1/4 inch, just like that. And then you're going to fold it over again, like that. And you're going to take your pin and you're going to pin this down. And you want to do this all the way across the back of this part, of the top part of this dress. Again, fold it down 1/4 inch, and then you're going to fold it down again, just like this. This is what you're going to have when you're finished pinning. And again, you want to go all the way over 1/4 inch, like that. And then you're going to fold down again. Now remember, this is on a circle, so it's okay if it looks like you're getting mixed up, but it's not. You just want to make sure that you keep your folds correct. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take this over to your machine, and you're going to take this over to your machine, and you're going to sew across the bottom of the seam all the way on your dress, and that's going to give it a nice clean finish on the edge back there. Again, you want to go all the way up through the middle part, and I'm going to show you what you do when you get to this middle part. So again, take it, fold it down 1/4 inch, and then you're going to fold it down one more time. So then you're going to take a pin like that, and you're going to stick this pin inside so you know what you're sewing when you get over to the machine. Just fold it down like that. Now, what you're going to do is, now that you got this side all together, and as you can see, it's straight. There you go, like that. Now, when you get to the middle part that also has that plunging, because I told you it's like a W in the back of your dress, you're going to do the same thing. Nothing's going to change. You're going to fold it down. You can move this pin if you want to. You're going to fold it down 1/4 inch, like this. And then you're going to fold it down again. And then you're going to take a pin, and you're going to put your pin inside there so it doesn't move. Again, fold it down 1/4 inch, and then you're going to fold it down 1/4 inch, and then you're going to fold it down again, just like that. And take your pin, stick it inside, just like that, all the way till you get to the end. Fold it down 1/4 inch, and then you're going to fold it down again, just like that. Take your pen, put your pen in there right there, and you can put another one up here. So again, so it stays in place. And as you can see, when you finish pinning, you still have that point in the middle. Nothing about that has changed. And again, that's going to be hooked to that tie that we're going to have going straight at the mat. And as you can see, now you have a nice finish back part. And once you've sewn it down and flatten it out with the iron, it's going to look really nice. So now that we have that part done, the next thing you want to do is you want to do your top of your dress. So we're going to flip this over to the wrong side, like this. Now, this is the part where we're going to put the casing for the tie that's going to come out the top. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take mine over to my serger, my overlock machine, and I'm going to finish off my edge. And then that way, I only have to fold it over once, about an inch, about this much. Once I do it, I'm only going to fold mine over once. And I'm going to leave that casing open so that I can get my tie through there. Because as you can see, that's going to remain open, and that's where your tie is going to come out from. And you're going to have a nice finish line right there. But if you do not have a serger, what you want to do is, and it's okay if you don't have a serger. I'm going to show you what you do. If you don't have a serger, you want to take your pattern, material. You want to fold it over about 1/4 inch like that. And once you do that, I want you to take it over to your machine. After you've done it 1/4 inch, I want you to take it over to your machine. You can take a pen, put a pin in it, like that. When you finish pinning it all the way down to the sides like this, like I said, you just want to do 1/4 inch all the way around, just like that. It will look like this when you get done. I'm sorry, it's going to look like that when you get done. You want to take this over to your machine, and you're going to sew this down. So this is actually going to be a 2-step process if you don't have a serger. You want to sew this down just like that, and you want to go from the edge, and you want to sew it all the way down, all the way around to the other side. Then when you're finished that, you're going to have a nice clean edge like this. You're going to come back to your table. You're going to take your fabric, and then you're going to fold it over about 3/4 inch. And then you're going to go back to your machine, and you're going to sew the bottom of this. Now you have that open casing right there, also with a nice clean finished edge. Again, let me tell you what you're going to do. It's a 2-part set for the ones who do not have a serger. You're going to fold your material over about 1/4 inch like that. You're going to pin it, and you're going to take it over to your machine, and you're going to sew it right down the bottom of the seam here. And you're going to do that all the way around to the other side here. Once you've done that, then you're going to come back to your table. You're going to lay it out flat like this, and you're going to fold it over about 3/4 inch. That way, when you finish this tie, it'll be able to fit right through this casing, because you're going to leave this top part open. We're not going to sew this. We're going to leave that open. See how that was open right there? We're going to leave that just like that, because once we have the tie going through all the way down this way, once we have it situated where we know we're going to keep it, then we're going to sew it so that the tie doesn't move. But that's going to be another step I'm going to show you. So again, take it over to the machine. You want to make a nice finished edge there. Then you're going to fold it over again about 3/4 inch like this. Going to be a nice finished edge, and you're going to leave the top open, because again, we're going to put our ties through there. Now, I'm going to take this one out, because like I said, I'm going to use my overlock machine. So it's going to finish off my edge for me. Okay, so we're back, and as you can see, I did everything that I told you to do. I got my back sewn up. That's the top part of the back of the dress, and that's the point. We're going to cut those off in a little while. And once you put out cool iron, not a cool iron, once you put a nice iron on it, these hems will lay down flat for you. But again, as you can see, I've done the top of the back of the dress. I've also finished my edge off with my serger, and I fold it over so that I can have room for my casing in the front on the top part of that dress, as you can see right there. Again, I finished off with my serger. I sewn it down on the front. You can see it on the front. And then that way my tie will go through this casing right here. Okay. And I also sewn down my ties. I'm going to show you what to do with those, because we're just going to take a safety pin, we're going to put it there, and we're going to put it inside and scrunch it through and flip it inside out, and you'll see how nice those ties are. So next thing we want to do is, let's move some of this out the way. You want to take your 2 dress pieces. You want to take your front piece, and you're going to lay it down flat like this. And you're going to take your top piece, and you're going to put them right sides together. And we're going to match them up from the bottom. Because remember, we can't match them up at the top because there's not enough dress at the top. So we're going to take it from the bottom of our dress. And I'll flip it this way so you can see. Okay, we're going to take the bottom of our dress like that. Okay, take the bottom of our dress, and we're just going to pin them together, right sides facing. And you're going to pin it all the way up from the bottom of the dress to the top of the back of the dress. So as you can see, I'm going to take my pin, I'm going to put it in there like this, and I'm going to go all the way up, just like this. Again, making sure that both sides are matching. You want to go all the way up till you get to the top of this dress, to the top of the back of the dress. Fuck this up some. Like that. Make it a little flatter. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it coming along, but the dress is down there, has a plunging back line, just like the inspirational dress has. And again, take your pins, and we're pinning it all the way up here. And I'm going to slide down so you can see my pins. We're going to pin it all the way up till we get to the top of the back of the dress. And remember, I'm only going to show you what you need to pin. Whenever I'm showing you something that you need to pin, that means we're going to sew that. So we're going to put these 2 together like this. And again, you want to make sure that your sides are matching up. Like that. And we're going to pin it down. Because you're going to take this over to your sewing machine and you're going to sew it from the top of this dress part right here, which is the back of your dress, all the way to the bottom of the dress. And again, you want to do the other side the same way. So let's take our pins and go from the bottom of the dress. We're going to put a pin. Take your pins, put your pins in there like that. Like again, you just match up the bottom of the dresses. Because we know that the top of the dresses will not match because the back of your dress is plunging all the way down. So that's definitely not going to fit. And we're going to go all the way up till you get to the top of the dress. And again, you just want to make sure that they match up. Like this. And you're going to sew it. Again. So now we have our dress and it's pinned on both sides like that. I don't know if you can see the pins. Can you see the pins? There you go. Now you can see the pins are pinned on both sides. That's what we're going to take it over to our machine and do next. Then I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, I have said it 1,000 times and I'm going to say it 1,000 more times. This is the part where you want to try your dress on. The last part I showed you we pin the sides of the dress. Now, when you do that, you want to take your dress and you want to actually try it on. If the dress is for you, you want to try it on. If the dress is for someone else, you want to make sure you get it as close to the measurements as possible. Or have them come back for a second fitting to make sure the dress is the way that they want it before you start finalizing it. Let me show you how many edits I made to my dress. Now, as you can see, I don't know if you can see. Okay, that's better lighting. If you see all these different patterns here of how many times I sewed my dress, I think it's 3 times. I went and I put the sides together. I did that first seam right here. I tried the dress on. It was way too baggy, way too big. So I took it back and I did another sew line right here. Still way too baggy, not the way I wanted to fit. So I took it back to the machine again and I sewed it again right here. Now the dress fits the way that I want it to fit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this over to my serger and I'm going to finish off my edge so I have a nice clean edge to it. Remember, try on your garment. It's so important. You do not want to get to the end of your project and you cannot put your dress on. Or it's too big and you've already put your final hems in it or something like that. Just try your dress on in between. You can always make adjustments to your measurements and to your dress as long as you try it on. But if you don't try it on, you get to the end of your project and the dress is not what you want, I just will feel awful about that. So again, just try your dress on. Again, after you put the two seams together on the side and you actually have the dress together, because as you can see, the dress is now almost a whole dress because we have the sides sewn together. Try it on. I can't stress that enough. Please try on your dress to make sure it fits you and it fits the way you want it to fit. Again, if you're doing this dress for someone else and you're not just doing a general size, you want to make sure that they come back for a second fitting and just do some extra pins and make sure the dress is the way they want it to be. Okay, so again, I'm going to take this over to my serger and I'm going to finish off the edge all the way up to the top where the two pieces meet, which is right here. But I'm also going to do another step that I'm going to show you. Now we already have the casing on here and that's perfect. So now what we want to do is we're going to finish off these edges here on the side. Because this dress, it really doesn't have a side to it. So what we're going to do is, let me just adjust this a little bit. Okay, so what you're going to do is we're going to lay the dress out like this. Okay, you're going to take your dress and you're going to lay it right side facing down. And you're going to go to the side where you have your armhole here, and down to the bottom where the dress actually meets. And we're going to fold it over a 1/4 inch. Let me see. Let me do it this way so you can see. I'm going to fold it over a 1/4 inch like that. And then we're going to fold it over one more time. Now that's going to run into this one here, which is fine because that's what you wanted to do. So you want to start from right here. As you can see, the two are meeting together. This is the front and the back of the dress meeting together. And again, you're going to lay it down right side facing. You're going to turn this part over like that, about a 1/4 inch. And then you're going to fold it over one more time. Now let me grab my pins. Again, meet where the meat at. You're going to fold it over a 1/4 inch. Like that. Then you're going to fold it over one more time. And we're going to take a seam. We're going to take and sew this up so that you have a nice finished edge on the side of your dress. Because remember, this is that part under your armpit. So again, 1/4 inch and fold it again. I'm going to take my pin. I'm going to pin it down just like that. So you want to do that all the way up the dress to the armhole and past the armhole. Again, 1/4 inch like that, and you're going to fold it again. And again, you're just keeping nice clean edges to this dress. I cannot wait to put this dress on and actually go somewhere in it. So again, all the way up to the armpit like that, 1/4 inch under like that. Then you're going to fold it down again, and you're going to take your pin and pin it down just like that. And again, like I said, if you're a beginner, use as many pins as you want to. Do not feel bad that you have a lot of pins. When I first started sewing, I pinned everything. Do you hear what I'm saying? Everything had a pin in it. And I did not feel bad about it at all. Next thing you want to do is we're going to go up to this armhole. You're going to do the same thing. Now, as you can see, this ends like that. I'm sorry. That ends like that. So we're going to start from that edge. And we're going to fold it down a 1/4 inch like this. And then we're going to fold it over again, another 1/4 inch. And it's going to look like this. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you actually get done. When you finish pinning it, it's going to almost look like a triangle because that first part is already folded down and you're going to fold right over top of that part and you're going to keep going up. That's going to give you that nice finished edge on the side. So you want to go up, and I'm going to show you that again. Let's show you that part again. I want to zoom in as much as possible so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's put it down like that. Okay, so this edge right here, as you can see, zoom a little more. Okay, the edge right there, as you can see, when you get to the top of the side where your dress is going to fall at, there is a little slant here. So that's fine. You want to leave that slant there. What you're going to do is you're going to take the side of where your armhole is. This is where your arm is going to come through. You're going to hold it down at that slant, and you're going to fold it over on top of that slant, just like that. So you're almost going to make like that. It's going to look like that when you finish. So again, take this down. You're going to fold it straight over that piece, just like that, and it's going to look like that. Then, again, fold it down one more time. Everything, because we want nice finished edges on this dress. You don't want any raw edges showing up. And then we're going to pin it down. Just like that. And again, we're going to do it just like that. And you're going to pin it all the way down till you get to the top of the strap. Just like that. All the way up till you get to the top of the strap. Just like that. So you're going to be pinned, and then there is your strap. There's one strap like that. There you go. Then you want to do the other side the same way. Again, you want to go from the part of the dress where they meet, where the dress meets the bottom half of the dress. I'm going to grab those two, and you're going to take it and move some of the strings. And you're going to fold it over like this. Let me grab my scissors and get rid of all those strings right there. That's a lot of strings and a piece of dress, and you throw that in the trash. So, again, going to take it where the dress and the bottom of the dress meets. You're going to fold it over just like that, a 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch that way, just like that. Then you're going to fold it over again. And that's going to fall right into that dress, which is fine. And you're going to take a pin and stick it in there. Just like that. And you want to go all the way up. Again. 1/4 inch down like that. 1/4 inch down like that. And then you're going to fold it again. Nice clean edge. Take your pin. Put it in there like that. And you're going to keep going like this. All the way up till you get to the armpit. And then again, when you get to the armpit, it's going to be the same thing as it was on the other side. There's going to be that little slanted hole when you finish pinning all the way up at the top like that. Pin again. To another pin here. One more. Like I said, don't be worried about how much pins you're using. Use as many pins as you want to. Okay, again, as you can see, we have that slanted side there. So again, you want to use that for our advantage, and we're going to take it and we're going to fold it down just like that. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to do it one more time. You're going to take it, and you're going to fold it down. Let's move this pen back some. We're going to fold it down just like that. You're going to fold it right over, just like that. And you're going to take your pen, and you just pin it right there. So that's what it's going to look like. You're going to fold it over. Then you're going to go up to your arm, like this. And you're going to go over 1/4 inch. And then over again. Another 1/4 inch. Do it. Sorry. Mine's popped back out. So let me show you how you're supposed to do it again. Okay, so you're going to take it, going to fold that over like this, where it's almost another triangle. Going to fold it down 1/4 inch, and then you're going to fold it again. Going to take your pen, stick it in there, just like that. There you have it. And then you want to go all the way up to the top of this strap. Fold it down 1/4 inch, fold it again. Like that, all the way till you get to the top of the strap, just like we did on the other side. Okay, so once you've gotten all the way up to the top of your strap, like that, put your pins in it. Going to take it over to your machine, and you're going to sew everything, so everywhere you have pins. So now we're finishing off these top edges. Your straps will be done. Both of your straps will be done. Your sides will be done to your dress. And like I said, I'm going to take my serger and I'm going to finish off my edge on the bottom part here. If you do not have a serger, because you've already, if you're anything like me, if you have multiple seam lines where you just want to take your scissors and you want to cut it as close as possible to the seam that you're actually going to use, and that'll be fine. Again, just take your scissors and cut as close as possible to the seam lines you want to use it. I'm going to do that and come back and show you what's next. Okay, and we're almost done. As you can see, I went ahead and I took my dress over to my serger, and as you can see, there's a nice finished edge. There's no more of all those seam lines that I had at first, because now I know where I want my dress to fit. So again, as you see, there's a nice clean seam line there. The next thing you see is I've also done the top, where there's going to be a nice finished flat edge when I iron it. The straps are done. So the next thing we want to do is get the ties together. There's going to be 2 ties. The first one is going to be in the back, which is going to hook to the middle part of the dress, which is this here. It's going to hook to this part of the dress. And we're not going to have a casing here. We're actually just going to have the ties sewed down to this. So when we get it, we're going to make sure that we measure it properly. Again, we're just going to have it sewn to the middle part of this dress. We're not actually going to put it in any type of casing. The only casing that we're going to use is up here at the front of the dress, and that's because we're going to pull the tie through the dress like this so it can tie in the back. The one in the back is just going to come up and meet one of the ties, and we're going to sew it together. But I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about and how we're going to do that. So let me show you how to get the ties right. First thing you want to do is you want to get a safety pin. The bigger the safety pin is fine, but I'm going to use this size right here because I don't have that much tie that I'm going to be using. So you're going to take one of your ties that I've already sewn down on the side like I showed you earlier, and you're going to take it like this, and you're going to take your tie and you're going to take your safety pin and you're going to put it through just like that. Sorry, let me do that again for you. You're going to take your safety pin and you're going to put it right through like this, and you're going to clamp it down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this safety pin and you're going to tuck it on the inside. I did this wrong. Sorry. You want to do it from the back side because we're going to tuck it down in the middle. So you're going to put your safety pin on like that. And you're going to take this safety pin and you're going to tuck it inside of the tie. Just like that. You're going to go in and you're just going to push it down. And you're going to keep doing that. And then you're going to pull the tie up like this. So you're going to keep going down. I hope you can see this. Going to keep pulling it down like this. And then we're going to pull the tie through. We're going to pull it through. And keep going down like this. Like again, you're going to scrunch it down. And then you're going to grab it from one part down here. And you're going to keep pulling it through like this. Just like that. And you're going to keep going down. And you're going to do that all the way till you get to the end of the tie. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this up because this is going to take a little bit because this is a really long tie. And I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, so I'm finishing up one tie, and as you can see, my safety pin is coming through the middle. And you want to just keep pulling through like that and slide down at the bottom. So you want to pull and slide, pull and slide. And as you can see, this is going like that. It's going really well. This was a really long tie. But like I said, it'll be worth it in the end. We're going to have a really nice dress. But this is what you want to do. You want to just keep pulling and sliding. Keep pulling and sliding. And as you can see, when it comes out, you're going to have a nice tie just like that. And we have two of them, and I'll show you what to do next. Those ties were a killer, probably because they were so long, but we got them through, so don't quit. Make sure you get your ties through. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to put this longest one right here. Yeah, we're going to take the longest one and we're going to put it through the front casing. And I'm going to show you. So grab your dress. You want to grab your safety pin. Again, like that. And you're going to put it, take the safety pin and pin it to the end of your tie. Then you're going to take your dress and we're going to use that end that's open. And we're going to take our safety pin and put it down there. And we're going to scrunch this through almost like we did the ties. Only thing is we won't have to do them inside out because the tie's already done. We just want to make sure it gets through. And on this one, you probably want to use a really big safety pin. But I didn't feel like going to get one. So I'm just going to use the one that I used already. So you want to scrunch that down. So, okay, here's what we're doing. You're pushing it through the casing where we have. And you're just going to do that all the way like that. You want to get all the way to the other side. As you can see, I'm just kind of bunching it up. And then I just pull it like that. So, hold your safety pin. Bunch it up as much as possible. Pull it through. You want to keep going all the way till you get to the other side. And this one is long enough so you should not have to worry about it going through because it won't. It'll still be hanging out of the edge. Pulling it through. Almost there. Scrunch and pull. Scrunch. You see that? And pull. Scrunch. Pull. Scrunch and pull. Like I said, you want to pull it all the way through. Scrunch, pull, scrunch, and we're at the end You want to grab it this side. Now you have your tie all the way through the top of the dress. Perfect, right? Almost. Next, you want to lay the dress out like this, facing down. And remember that one tie that we measured, and we said it had to be 19 inches. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to take, like I said, we got the casing through. We have the casing through the top. So now we have our ties here. We want to take our other tie that we have, and you want to get your tape measure. And remember, my measurement was 19 inches. So you want to take it from the top of the tie, and you want to go all the way down till you get to whatever your measurement was. 19 inches for me is right here. That's 19 inches for me. So actually what I'm going to do is, that's 19 inches for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down about another 1.25 inches, like that, because we're going to have to fold it down in order to sew it. So I'm going to snip it off right there. I'm going to use the end that we don't need. So this is the piece I need for the back of my dress. Now, the next thing we're going to do with that is, because we have the dress laid out like this, move your tape measure out. Okay? Get your pins again, and you're going to turn your tie like that so it is nice and flat. And we're going to take the bottom of this dress like that. As you can see, it's on the inside. We're going to take it like this. And remember, we left a little bit, and we're going to fold it up just a bit like that. So we're going to fold it up like that. We're going to attach it to the dress like this. Scoot up so you can see. We're going to attach it to the dress, and we're just going to take a pin and stick it down like that. Now, as you can see, when it's the right side, that dress, the tie is going up the back of the dress. So, you also, now this is what we're going to do when we get to the top. This is going to require us putting the dress on. So, now that we have the two ties up here, because remember I said that this tie in the back is going to be stationary. It's not going to move. So, you want to take your two ties that you have, and you want to get them even up at the top, just like that. And then you want to put it through your dress so that they're nice and even. You want to make sure that the dress is nice. There's not any scrunches up like that. You want to make sure it's nice and flat. But you want to make sure that these two pieces are even. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this tie that's hooked on the back, that we're going to sew down right there. And as you can see, it's going straight up the back, just like that. Straight up the back like that. And we're going to take this tie, because it really doesn't matter which one you use, but we're going to take the tie here, and you're going to hold it out like this. As you're going to take the ties, as you can see, if you put the ties like this, they're like that, okay? So what we want to do is, because like I said, this is going to be a stationary one, we're going to lay the dress flat like this, and this is the right side is now facing you. You're going to take this tie, going to lay it flat like this, and we're going to sew this tie underneath here like that, straight up the back. And you're going to take it and you're going to put a pin right here. So what you have is, actually, when you put your dress on, you're going to have to put your arm through this sleeve, and then you'll only have to worry about tying these two ties at the middle of your neck like that. And that's going to keep, and you'll see, and that's how it's going to look. And then as you'll see, when you have the dress on, the only two ties you're worried about are the ones that are coming from the dress. I'm sorry. Let's do that again. The only ties you have to worry about is the ones coming from the dress because this one is going to stay flat. So again, let's do this again. I'm sorry, it's not cooperating with me right now. Okay, let's do this again. This side in the back is going to stay put. It's hooked to the bottom of the dress, and it's also going to be hooked to the middle of one of the ties that we're going to use to tie our dress on our neck. You're going to take the other tie like this. When you actually put the two together, this is what you'll have. You'll have these two ties that are actually going to tie together, but you'll also have that one tie coming up the back. And I'm going to get my twin and show you what I mean. But first, take this over to your sewing machine, and you're going to take your sewing machine and you're going to sew across that, and you're going to make an X across the stitch. You're going to make an X that way and one that way, and that way it stays secure to the back of the dress. And you're also going to do it to the top of your tie. And like I said, remember, you want to lay out your dress flat like this. Flat just like that. You're going to lay your dress flat like this. You're going to put your ties in. You're going to make sure that they're even. And you're going to lay it out like this. Now, as you can see, my ties are even. This one is pinned to the bottom of the dress, and it's going straight up. It's also going to be sewn to one of the hooks in the middle. So when you go to tie your dress in the back, you're only going to be worried about these two ties. There won't be a third tie in the way. This one is going to be stationary. So when you put your dress on, you're going to have to put your arm through here like this to get the dress on. So I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew the bottom of this, and I'm going to sew up here, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, I've taken it over to my sewing machine. First thing I did was I've sewn the bottom like this, and I've done the cross, the X right there, to make sure that it's nice and sturdy on there. I've also taken that same strap that's going from the back, and I've attached it to one of the straps at the top. One of the other things that I did is I took my straps that are coming through here, and I sewed it straight across, and that way the straps won't move. Your dress is now nice and sturdy, and I did it on both sides. So you want to just run a stitch right across there, and that will keep your straps from moving and sliding in and out, because you want them to be still. Again, so as you can see, we're pretty much done this dress. Only thing we need to do now is put a hem at the bottom of the dress. There you have it. This is laid out like this. This strap is nice and secure to here. So when you go to put your dress on, it's going to be nice and secure. When you tie it, this strap is going to remain the same. Last thing we want to do to this dress is we want to put a hem in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my serger, and I'm going to finish off the edge. Once I finish off the edge, I'm just going to fold it over one time. I'm just going to fold it over one time like that, about a ½ inch, and I'm going to sew right across the bottom. If you don't have a serger, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the material, you're going to fold it over about a ½ inch like this. Sorry. You're going to fold it over about a ½ inch like this, and then you're going to fold it over one more time. You're going to take your pins, you're going to pin it down, and then you're going to take it over to your sewing machine, and you're going to sew right across the top of this hem. And you're going to do that all the way around until you finish. Once you've done that, your dress is done. So I'm going to take this over to the machine, put my hem in it, and I'll come back and show you the results. Okay, family, we're back, and as you can see, the dress is done, and it looks great. I cannot wait to put this on. And one thing that the stars don't tell you that I'm going to tell you, you want to go to a local beauty supply store, your fabric store, Walmart, Kmart, or whatever, and you want to grab you some double-sided tape. And what that does is it just gives you a little extra assurance that you're not going to fall out when you're wearing the dress. The dress is snug and it's tight, but again, extra assurance is always good. Again, you want to get some double-sided tape, and they sell it at any place you want to find it. And you want to just put it to the inside of your dress, and you're just going to tack it down like that on the sides, on this side and then on the other side. But again, the dress is complete. It's done. I love it. As you can see, the back has that one tie that we talked about earlier, and it's stationary, so it won't go anywhere. Even when you make the ties on your neck, this is going to stay exactly where it is. And what I did was I just took some knots on the end of my ties to make sure they don't come loose. Even though I've secured them up here so that they don't move, you still want to just make sure you have you just want to make sure you have a finished edge on the back. So, and as you can see, I'll move her back some. My twin is actually wearing the dress for me now. And my dress is not as long as Kelly's dress is, but it is still long. And I've hemmed the bottom, so it's a really nice hem on it. And I ran an iron over top of it, so it's nice and flat. And as you can see, there's good movement in this dress. I cannot wait to wear this dress. And again, I'm so glad that this was a viewer's choice. And I'm also hoping that this was so easy with Shelby and Gabbie. And see you next time.